Live. Record turnout for French elections as far-right vies for power in Paris. Live updates. The French are voting in one of their most crucial legislative elections in recent years, with the latest polls suggesting a hung parliament. Voting is underway in the second round of France's critical legislative elections, with turnout at the highest rate since 1981 by midday today. The stakes are high for Marine Le Pen's National Rally, which could produce France's first far-right government since World War I. The polls suggest Le Pen's protege Jordan Bardela's party and its allies are unlikely to win an absolute majority, but that they could garner support from centrist and right-wing maverick voters. With a hung parliament likely, months of grueling political wrangling may lie ahead. Keep up to date with all the latest news here on our live blog, which will run into the night. Follow the results as they come in real time. Polls close at 6 p.m. in towns and small cities and 8 p.m. in major urban centers. Pollsters will issue initial nationwide projections based on early partial results from polling stations just after they close. Dive into our elections coverage to find out why they're so important and what exactly is at stake. Find all our stories on our French Elections Hub. Voter turnout reaches 59.71%. As of 5 p.m. local time, voter participation stood at 59.71% for the second round in metropolitan France, the area of France geographically in Europe. It's only a very marginal increase from the same time during the first round last Sunday, which came in at 59.39%, but still significantly higher than the 38.1% turnout for the second round of the legislative elections in 2022. Turnout stood at 26.63% at midday, an increase of 7.5% from 2022, when it was 18.99%. This figure was also up on last Sunday's first round, 25.9%, reaching a record high for the second round of legislative elections since 1981. There may be trouble ahead. Euronews Paris correspondent Sofia Katsenkova has sent us these telling images from the Champs-Élysées, which has been closed off to cars today. Several shops and businesses have boarded up their windows and set up barricades in case of riots following tonight's results. What was Macron hoping to gain from a snap election? The French president called to dissolve parliament in early June after defeat in the European elections, but a political analyst told Euronews that was a mere pretext for the snap election. Nothing was forcing the president to call for a snap election, said Delphine Dulong, a professor of political science at the University of Paris Panthéon-Sorbonne. Dulong added that Macron knew he was doing it in a dangerous, risky context with an electorate that is increasingly polarized. That the snap poll is being held just before the Olympics and could incite social unrest in France was not very responsible of the President of the Republic, she added. Honestly, I've looked for all the scenarios and for me, there is something absurd about the decision. I'm not a psychologist, but in my opinion, it's more about psychology than political analysis, she said. Dulong offers the explanation that Macron thought he could repeat his rise from nowhere in the 2017 elections, or that he might have believed that having a prime minister from an opposition party would help him remake his image. Too busy to read up on what's going on? Listen instead. We've already shared articles on how France's decision tonight may shake the wider EU, but if you've got your hands full, why not listen to our podcast instead? In their latest episode, Radio Schumann analyzes the future of French influence in Brussels with Thierry Chopin, special advisor to the Jacques Delors Institute.